Hi, everybody, and welcome to my how-to series specifically geared towards mortgage processors. In this series, I'll be walking you through how to read and understand all different types of documentation for the financing process, from titles, insurance forms, appraisals, and many more. My name is Gina Waribi, owner and operator of Innovative Edge Processing, and in today's video, we will be going through how to review gift documents and showing you a couple examples of them. So, what is a gift? A gift for mortgage transaction are funds that are coming from someone other than the borrower, with no expectations of being repaid. The key here is no expectations of being repaid. This is a gift and not a loan. What can you use the gift funds for? You can use them for a down payment or even closing costs. Now let's talk about who is an acceptable donor. An acceptable donor for a conventional file is the borrower's spouse, a child or other dependent, any other individual who's related to the borrower by blood, marriage, adoption, or even legal guardianship, a fiancé, or even a domestic partner. The key here for a conventional loan is that the donor may not have any affiliation with the borrower, the developer, the real estate agent, or any other interested party in the transaction. Now let's go to VA and USDA loans. On a VA, a gift can be provided from anybody as long as they are not affiliated with the transaction. But the key to VA loans is a gift fund cannot be used to meet any of the reserve requirements. Now let's jump to a USDA loan. Again, as long as they are not affiliated with any interested party of the transaction, all acceptable donors are family members, employer or labor union, charitable organization, homeownership assistance, grants, and programs. Now we go to FHA loans. They're a little bit different, so let's talk about who the acceptable donors are. The employer or labor union, a close friend, which must be documented on the gift letter as a close friend relationship, a charitable organization, a government agency that provides low to moderate income family assistance or first-time home buyers, a family member, which we're going to go through in a little bit more detail next. So FHA defines a family member as one of the following: a child, parent, or grandparent. And FHA gets even more specific and defines a child as a son, daughter, or stepson and stepdaughter, a spouse or domestic partner, legal adopted son or daughter, a foster child, a brother, sister, stepbrother, stepsister, an uncle or an aunt, or any of the in-laws, mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, etc. Now let's jump into what documentation is needed for a gift for each of the loan programs. All the loan programs have a standardized gift form that you can use. Some people choose to write their own letters. There is certain requirements that are required for each letter for each program. Let's run through those really quickly. For Freddie Mac, FHA, and VA, you're required to have it signed and dated by the donor. It must say the donor's name, the relationship to the borrower, the donor's full mailing address and phone number. It must state clearly in this letter that there is no expectation of repayment, and specifically states the dollar amount of the gift. Now, DU has one additional item that they are requiring, and it must have the date the funds were gifted. And then lastly, for FHA, it is the same exact as the Freddie Mac. However, the borrower must also sign and date the letter as well. This is the standard gift letter. These are available online, or any lender has their standard form. These are the forms that I truly recommend you to use because it has all of the information on there for each and every program, so you can't really go wrong. Now let's jump over to, besides the gift letter, what other documentation is needed? So on conventional, which is Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, once the gift funds have been provided to the borrower, we are required to get a copy of the following. A copy of the check, whether it's a certified check, bank check, or even a wire transfer. A copy of the bank statement showing the funds going in and clearing the borrower's account. These funds cannot say pending. If the gift funds have been provided directly to the closing agent, the following is required. A copy of the gift check, wire transfer, and an escrow letter, which we will go through in a moment. Let's jump over to government loans, which are FHA, VA, and USDA. They require a little bit of different documentation. Still, the copy of the gift check, wire transfer, or bank check. A copy of the full and complete statement from the borrower showing the funds going into their account. But they do also require a full and complete 30-day bank statement showing the withdrawal and evidence of the deposit from the donor's account into the borrower's account. Remember, there can be no markings on any of these bank statements, such as crossing off the balances, the account numbers, or even just one specific transaction. Now, as you can imagine, asking a donor for their bank statement can be a little bit tricky, and some people are a little bit lenient, and I totally understand that. So one way we can deal with that is we can have the donor send the funds directly to the closing agent. That way, we don't have to obtain the donor's bank statement. We would just need a copy of the wire transfer or the gift check and an escrow letter from the closing agent just to confirm that they have received the funds. Now, quickly, here's a copy of a couple wire transfer receipts. It's just going to state that the wire went from one account to another account and the date that it was done. Now here's a copy of a couple escrow letters. It's very important that the company put their letter on letterhead, whether it's from a title agency, an attorney, or even a real estate agent. It must include the date, the amount of funds received, and the borrower's name and property address that this is being applied to. What is a gift of equity? A gift of equity is a way for a seller, normally a family member, giving a gift to the buyer of the equity in the home. Here's a typical gift of equity letter. It's pretty much the same as the other gift form. If the borrower is receiving a gift of equity, the loan must have an appraisal, whether or not an appraisal waiver has been given via DU or LP. It is still required that there is an appraisal on file. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed the lesson on how to review gift documentation. I have several more coming out, such as how to review credit reports, how to review title documents, and even appraisals. If there's one that you would like to see, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at gina@innovativeedgeprocessing.com. Thanks so much and have an amazing day.